Hey, Steve Zucker, welcome back to Polkzoo channel or Reverb, wherever you're seeing this. Hey, this is a really exciting guitar that's very hard to find. It's the Herb Ellis old made in Japan Aria. I think the model is PE175. It's a Herb Ellis model, ebony fretboard. It's got some weight to it. Kind of reminds me of the weight of like an old Gibson L5 or something. And it's got a lot of that same tone. It's got some flame on the top, which is kind of rare. You don't see that too much. Most of these do have binding issues where the binding cracks going around the guitar. Seems like it's not as bad on the back, but there's quite a few cracks on the binding. I don't even think I'd mess with it if it was my guitar because it's not really that bad. There's one place here where there's a little piece that looks like maybe that little piece should be replaced, but again, if this was my guitar, I don't think I would even mess with the binding because it doesn't really bother me that much. It's just got a lot of cracks, which is very common with these if you research it. Of course, the tailpiece is kind of tarnished. I mean, this is made in the 80s, made in Japan. If I was going to keep this, I might go ahead and put on like a different bridge, with the metal parts to maybe bring out a little more tone. These strings have probably been on here for years. The guy I got it from said the old man that he sold it for has just had it sitting around in a case for years. So these flat ones are really old. But and as usual, I'm not very warmed up. So just a kind of a quick. These are real thick strings. I don't know if they're 12s or 13s. I'd probably put on a set of 11s or 12s with my guitar. The action's pretty damn low right now on this guitar too. But like I said, the strings are very thick, so if you wanted it to be easier to play, the first step would probably be just to put on some thinner strings. Setup's pretty damn good, but setup is a very subjective thing, so everybody's a little bit different. Hey, let's do cycle 1 in the guitar ladder system. Now here's the back pickup. Like I said, I'm not real crazy about flat wound strings, although some flat wound strings have more tone. This is going to be a very simple demo. I'm not warmed up. I'm not trying to be real musical because I've had a real busy day and worked out hard at the gym and everything. But the pickups obviously sound great. Like I said, I think flat wounds are kind of dull sounding, although sometimes they can create a lot of kind of smoky, wussy kind of a tone. But these have been on here for years, so they probably lost some mid-range too. But as you can hear, that back pickup sounds pretty damn good. Here's the front. Yeah, these are thick strings. These might even be 13s. Like I said, I'm not. But just really got a beautiful tone. Like I said, you'll get even more tone. If you like flats, you'll get more tone with a new set. Because these are years old. They've lost some of the mid-range. But this is a nice... I love this guitar. If I was going to keep this guitar, I think I'd put 11s on it, and like I said, the action's pretty low right now, even with these super thick strings, so it's going to be even lower with 11s or 12s, so you might need to raise up the action. I'm not sure if this bridge is original or not. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It might be, it might not be, but this is a lot of guitar. I love the figured wood on the top. Like I said, it's got a lot of places where there's little cracks in the side of the binding. Most of them don't look like they really need much attention, except for right here. There's a little piece that's kind of loose at about 1.5 inches or so. It's coming out a little bit here. You could get that fixed if you want. That wouldn't be too much. But this really, I love guitars like this. Any of the older made in Japan 70s and 80s guitars are very, very special. The Japanese knew a lot of secrets about making guitars, both acoustic and electric. And this guitar has some weight to it, which is really, like when I put it in the case, which is beautiful, by the way, with the purple lining, and pick up the case, the weight reminds me of an old Gibson L5 CES I used to have from the 70s. So I don't think this is an all solid wood guitar, but I think what is the case is maybe they use some thicker layers, much thicker layers of laminate, kind of like a double top on a classical guitar, which is a high-end situation. Those guitars go for thousands. And so that might be part of the magic of what they did to bring out the tone of this instrument. Really a neat guitar. Here's both pickups. Yeah, I love stuff like this. That's something I wrote myself, kind of in that Steve Howe 70s style. By the way, if you wonder if I'm a good guy to buy a guitar from, go to vintageguitar.com, put in Steve Zook, read the review in the search, read the review of my CD, and Stephen Stone, the great writer for audiophile, stereophile, vintage guitar, guitar collector, recording engineer, super, super knowledgeable, sharp guy about the music business and guitars. Even mentions he's bought a few guitars from me. Folks, I'm a good guy to buy from because I know what I'm doing. I'm really cold right now. And I really don't like super thick strings, to be honest with you, but the fact that the action is pretty low on this, even with super thick strings, is a very good sign, by the way. But yeah, this is a beautiful guitar. Like I said, if it was mine, I wouldn't even worry about binding. I might fix this one, like I said, I might fix this one little place right here where it's about 1.5 inches or so. That piece is kind of coming out. The rest of it, to me, just looks like it has the little cracks and stuff, you know. But I mean, you know, it depends how picky you are. But this guitar just has so much soul. Really neat. But yeah, there's a lot of tone that's missing because of the flat wounds and the fact that the flat wounds have been on here for years. So you'll get a lot more mids and a lot more magic. You know, a lot more tone, but it sounds really sweet right now. But it just, like I said, to me, flat wounds just sound a little dull, and I would put regular strings on this if it was my guitar. But that's, you know, I'd love to keep this guitar, but I can't keep everything that I get. Alright folks, this is it. Here it comes with a case. I'm a really good packer. I'm really going to miss it. That's not bullshit. But yeah, these are not easy to find. So a little bit of wiggle. Alright folks, take care. Bye-bye.